All right, so we're about to get started on Unit 3, Cycle 1, Level 2, Circle. This lesson is about writing linear equations in slope-intercept form and also point-slope form when you're given 2 points. Right there. So when you're given 2 points, make sure you highlight that. And then also the slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. The point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We'll get to this one in a minute, but for right now, let's start on slope-intercept form. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to find the slope using the slope formula. That's the m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. After we find the slope, we need to substitute that value and one of the points, the xy values, into the slope-intercept formula and then solve for b. After we figure out what b is, we can write the equation. So let's go ahead and go down to the example, and we're going to get started. So we don't know what the slope is yet, so I'm just going to put m equals, and I'm going to try to color code this the best I can. Okay, so if you have the y2 minus y1, so y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to go ahead and go up here and label these points. I have x1, and then 5 is y1, and then 0 is my x2, and the negative 3 is my y2. Right? It doesn't matter if I said this is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2, or if I reversed it. Just pick a point for point 1 and use the ones for the labels, and then pick a point for point 2 and use the labels on that. You should, if you do the math right, end up with the same answer either way. Okay, so let's substitute into this formula. So we have y2, which is negative 3, minus y1, which is 5. Okay, over x2, which is 0, minus x1, which is 2. So what that does is that gives us negative 3 minus 5, negative 8, and then 0 minus 2 is negative 2. We have a double negative, so that becomes a positive, and of course 8 divided by 2 is 4. So I'm going to sum that up by just letting you know that m equals 4. We're going to use that in just a minute. So now we're going to substitute that value in along with one of the points and solve for b. Okay, so we have y equals mx plus b. So we're going to use the colors. Let's see. Y equals m x plus b. Okay, I'm going to make a list over here of the values that I already know. We solved for m equals 4. Okay, I'm going to use this point to solve for b. So my x value in this case is going to be 2, and my y value is going to be 5. You could have used this other point. You'd plug in different numbers, but you should end up with the same b answer. Okay. So let's substitute this. So if you need to draw the line to help you stay organized, go ahead and do that, but it's not required. So now you know that y is 5. We have equals m, which is 4, x, which is 2, and we're going to put that in parentheses, plus the b value. We don't know what the b value is. That is what we are solving for. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to bring that 5 down. We can't do anything with that yet. Then we have 4 times 2. That gives us 8. And then plus b. We're not quite done. We still need to get rid of this 8 right here because we're trying to get b by itself. So in order to get rid of that 8, we have to subtract 8 from both sides. Whatever we do on one side of that line, we have to do on the other. Okay, I'm trying to stay organized the best I can so you guys can see what's going on here. So this 8 minus 8 cancels. You're left with b, right? You just bring that b down, still can't do anything with it. But 5 minus 8 is negative 3. Let me move this up just a bit. There we go. Okay, so let's look at this. We know that the equation is y equals mx plus b. Okay, and we know that the slope is 4, and we know that the b value is negative 3. We're not going to worry about the x and y values on this very last part where we write the equation because we want this equation to work for all x and y values. So we're going to leave those as variables. So we end up with y equals mx, so m is 4, so 4x, and then plus b, but b is negative 3, so it's going to look like minus 3. Okay, so y equals 4x minus 3 is the equation in slope-intercept form. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the point-slope form. When we're going through the steps, we have first, we have find the slope, which we already did with this other equation, so you guys should know how to find the slope by now. And then you substitute the slope in and also one of the xy values into the point-slope formula this time. Make sure you're using the right formula because we're switching here. And then after you do that, you write the equation. Now, if you look at this, the examples use the same points. Okay, I did that so that you could see the difference in slope-intercept form and point-slope form for the same line. So both of these equations will give you the same information if you when you use them. Okay, so let's find the slope. We're going to go ahead and calculate again, right? Because we want to make sure we know how to do this. Okay, we can label first. So this is x1, y1. You should always label your points to help you stay organized. This one is x2, y2. All right, so the slope, okay, is y2 minus y1. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay. When we plug those in, all right, we already did it over here, but we're going to do it again right here. So y2 is negative 3 minus y1, which is 5, over x2, which is 0, minus x1, which is 2. And I know you're like, Miss, why do we have to calculate again if it's exactly the same thing? Because you need practice. Okay, so that is going to give us negative 8 up top, negative 2 on bottom. Double negative is a positive. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So I'm going to sum that up. M equals 4. Move this up just a bit. Okay, so now we need to substitute into the equation, but we're going to make our list of information first. So we have a slope of 4. We're going to use this point right here for our x and y values. So our x1 is 2 and our y1 is 5. Okay, so we have y minus y1, and again I'm trying to use the colors to help show you where everything is going and where it's coming from. So y minus y1 equals m. Okay, actually let me do this. So m, and then x minus x1. Okay, so that is your formula using the colors that we have been using so far. So now we're just going to simply plug in or substitute. So y minus y1, we have y1 is 5, equals the slope, which is 4, times x minus x1, which is 2. Okay, now on this one, we don't have any double negatives. Okay, so we're actually done here. This is our answer. So I'm just going to bring this answer down to this last step. See how it says simplify to write the equation? Well, it's already simplified, so we're just going to copy it down. So y minus 5 equals 4 times x minus 2. Okay, so both of these equations represent the same line, but they are written differently. All right, hope you guys got that.